Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Disturbing Puppet. We're going to do some more Mordheim today. So I've been playing this quite a bit lately, partially because I felt like I was really ahead of the curve on things, and now I kind of feel like I'm falling behind the curve on things. I really need to do a bunch of skill upgrades. I've got lower level guys I need to level up. Part of what happened was I've kind of realized after playing for a while that I feel like the undead are not quite so balanced. So I typically do really well against mercenaries and Skaven. I do, typically pretty well against chaos. Sisters are a little bit harder. Um, the witch hunters, really only their impressive guy is a little bit difficult to deal with. But when it comes to the undead, they are a nightmare. So I had a few missions where I still won and defeated them, but they just mauled me. And I had my level 10 Youngblood that I just leveled up to level 10, got killed. So I barely managed to escape with 3 guys getting downed, and I had a couple others who were right on the verge. And of course, one of them got killed. So, yeah, and if it was level 10. I had a luck charm on him, which would decrease the chance of that happening if he went down in a fight, and I didn't even get a chance to use it because he got killed in 1 turn by the undead leader. The vampire undead leaders are really difficult to deal with the terror abilities they've got, and just the amount of damage they can churn out. I don't know what kind of level he was or anything, but just destroyed me. Not so fun. So it really seems like I do okay when I'm not playing against the undead, and then the undead really cause me some problems. But I'll kind of go over my guys here in a bit and kind of show off what progress I've been making. So this is a continuing series where I'm just kind of sporadically uploading missions, but I have been playing Mordheim a lot lately, so I may do a bit more often than I have. We'll kind of see how it goes. My overall stats and stuff have been pretty good. Success rate, you can see 94%. Enemies at action is now over 7-1. So I'm still managing to win, but it's like I'm barely squeaking out a win when I'm fighting against the undead. And now I've got a bunch of lower level guys I need to level up, so it's kind of causing me some stress. Taking a while to level people up too. So I think I'm kind of set for the next mission. So what I have is still my level 10 leader. I still have my ogre that's now level 10. I've been kind of training him up because I had a lot of skill points with him. I've actually been tempted just to take 3 or 4 days to not do any missions at all and just spend gold to level up guys. You can see I have this little icon here shows people who have skill points that they haven't used, and pretty much all of my guys have skill points available that I could use for upgrading. Part of it is a gold issue, of course. Gold in this game is really difficult to come by. I am sitting out a bunch of wordstone, but I do have to send some off soon. So for people who've never played this before, it is sort of the computer game version of the old Mordheim board game. I never did play that board game, so I don't know how close it is. I played a lot of other Games Workshop stuff, but I never got into Mordheim. Nobody in our group really got into it. So what I've got going on is my level 10 leader. Pretty well equipped, pretty good stats and skills. Pretty happy with him. He's often going to be able to handle things by himself. He can parry up to 3 times in a turn and do counterattacks for free and can do decent damage. I've got decent equipment on him. This is my replacement, Youngblood. I bought a level 3 guy, so he's only leveled up a little bit over halfway to level 4. Okay equipment with him. Got some skills added in. I think when I first bought him, I haven't actually earned any since then. I'm now working my previous lower level Youngblood up, so he's now almost up to level 9, but he's not quite as good of a melee fighter as my other one was, mainly kind of focusing on ranged with these guys. A couple champions, so my previous is level 4 or 5. Last time I played with him, just got to level 8. I was actually thinking about swapping out a weapon with him, which I may do here in a second. Doing pretty good. He's good at parrying and handle himself. He's a little slow because of missing a leg. The other guy that I can't remember if I got him for completing one of the story missions. I think he was a level 3 or 4 when I got him. I've leveled him up now to almost level 6. Kind of a parrying specialist. I'd like to eventually get him equipped with a halberd or maybe dual weapons to do a bit more damage. I kind of focused a few guys early on sort of tying people up, a lot of my lower level warriors, and then was using my leader and a few other guys to actually do most of the damage. But the opponents are now dealing so much damage that it's almost feels really risky to take people, take that shield away from them to drop the defense and armor absorption in order to actually do a bit more damage. I probably will eventually, but I want him to get a bit tougher first. So I do have my level 10 rifleman in. Everything with him is pretty much the same as it has been, although I may not have had sniper shot before. My other archer is now up to level 7, doing pretty well, kind of advancing. I do need to give him some more skills. And then I've got a level 6 warrior here, a level 8 warrior, who I may also switch over to halberd at some point. I haven't picked up a shield specialist with these guys yet, and I'm kind of hesitating about it because I would like to give them halberds or dual weapons to do a bit more damage, but I'm not sure they can stand up to the amount of damage that's being dealt anymore to deal with that. And I've only got one level 10 ready for the mission. For backup, I've got a level 3 that I've been working on leveling up. I got him quite a while ago from completing a story mission. I've got a level 10 who is available, but I want to level up the other guys. My backup leader here, who's basically useless. I did pick up a level 3 wizard. I've used him in one mission. He almost got killed and basically did nothing, so I haven't used him since. At some point, I'll put him into rotation, probably. So let me just check on things here real quick. Okay, I'm getting a weird Twitch error, so hopefully I'm still streaming. The last time it came up, people were telling me I was still streaming, so hopefully I'm still streaming. So at this point, my rating is now 2709, but I've got a couple level 10s. I think the last mission I did, I put in some lower level people, so I could drop it if I wanted to. I could swap out like my level 10 rifleman here for some other people. I've got one weaker warrior here, but the level 3, he's not super useful, and he's so weak that he might just get instantly killed by anything we run into at this point. I'm kind of running this and training my ogre because I wanted to level up these newer guys. The young blood that I'm trying to get to level 10, the level 3 that I picked up, and then also getting my champions leveled up. So if you've never played the game before, it's basically doing missions in a ruined city that was hit by a comet of wardstone. The entire city was basically abandoned, overrun with mutants and Skaven and other horrible things, and then various different sponsors are paying groups to go in and kind of find certain resources, do specific missions, but also collecting wardstone because it's very valuable and useful for magical items. And then your sponsor will demand a certain amount of wordstone at different points in the campaign, which is part of why I'm sitting on a bunch. I have a request right now for 339, I think. So I had stockpiled quite a bit. So we're doing pretty good on that front, so that'll give me some more money coming in. And then what you do for the campaign, each day you can do a mission. I do have a story mission here, which I'm not going to do because these are really take a long time. You then kind of have different options of missions. You can spend gold to get additional mission sites. Each mission has kind of a different setup. The number or the name next to the skull is either going to be normal. These are all normal. Actually, normal, I think it's hard, brutal, and deadly, depending on the rating of the opposing warband you might run into for the mission. The thing I found is that if something is going to scatter both teams randomly, or both warbands randomly, that's very bad. What I had happen with that before was that both of my warband and the other warband ended up right on top of each other. The other person went first, and then I just got totally destroyed. That was the last, I think, loss that I had, which was quite a while back now. But anything where you're potentially going to be random is not really good. So in this you can see both warbands deploy tightly around their wagon and prepare to face each other. That's pretty good. There's average wardstone, that's what that symbol is, and then average other kind of treasures and things around. Here we've got very poor wardstone and average for treasures. Both warbands deploy tightly around their wagon and prepare to face each other, so kind of a straight up face-off. This has kind of a secondary mission objective where you can grab a bunch of wardstone and get it back to your cart. This is really just kind of beat up the other people. And then this is one warband is caught exploring buildings while the other deploys tightly around its wagon. You don't know going in which you're going to be. So if it's one warband is this and one warband is that, you don't know which one. It's kind of, I think it's random for what you're going to end up doing, whether you're sort of the ambusher or the ambushee, if that's a word. This one looks good. We've got good treasure. We've got good wordstone. They're all normal, so all of the ratings should be right around where I'm at, so it shouldn't be too crazy or anything. So I think we'll just jump into this one. Oh, actually, I wanted to do something first. Go back to... I was thinking about changing out the weapon here. So what I have with him, he does have a pretty decent critical chance at 15%. This weapon that I have with him increases his critical damage. I was thinking about looking if I had another high-quality weapon that increases that crit chance instead, just to take a look beforehand. As you can see, white is kind of basic items, blue are sort of the better versions, and you can actually put runes on them for more damage, and then purple are the best, at least as far as I know. So that's counterattack damage, that's hit chance, that's dodge bypass, that's making them more susceptible to fear. Yeah, we'll just stick with this. So it's more likely to get through parries, and hammers just, at this point, do plus 15% extra critical damage. So if I get a crit, it'll do quite a bit more damage. So we'll live with that. So we'll jump into this.
Your scouts have discovered a rival warband in the vicinity. These warriors are clustered around their wagon, making them a very attractive target.
So you can see the optional objective there, gather and secure 45% of the word stones. If you complete an optional objective, you get a lot of extra experience. It's kind of difficult, though, because you're so busy fighting the enemy, sometimes it's hard. And pick up and then also bring back to your cart and drop it off, not just have it in your own guy's equipment. So that's a little bit difficult. So here we're at the deploy screen. I was kind of expecting this game to be sort of a third-person camera, but when you're taking over a person, you're kind of in this sort of a setting, kind of directly behind them, controlling them and moving them around. You can look at an overhead map, so you can kind of see this is my cart here, and then these are all the different places that I can deploy to. This kind of symbol here is some amount of wordstone, and then this is some sort of other item, so it's a chest with, or could be a sack or something else that will have usually something not wordstone in it, so weapons, armor, that kind of thing. And then we can see where the opposing team is at up here. Foe takers, I think that's also a mercenary unit, it looks like, from the insignia there. I'm pretty sure that is. I'm definitely not an expert at this game, by the way. I just kind of did the tutorials and jumped in playing the mercenaries, who were kind of the recommended team to start with. I kind of wish I had gone with my first initial thought, which was Skaven, but then again, when I fought Skaven, I've always just beat the living snot out of them without a problem. So I'm kind of in the central area, and then I'll have to cut through the buildings. Kind of looking to see for placement. Most likely he's going to come down looking for wordstone. There's a lot in this area, so that might be where he's going to send at least a bunch of his guys. So that might be a good place to kind of focus on sending mine. So having my tougher guys up front, archers in the back, that kind of thing. This is my higher level Youngbloods, who's a pretty good archer. It's a decent position, it's fine. My other archer I don't really want on that edge. We'll put him back a little bit further. My rifleman will also move back a bit. Actually, somewhere over here may not be bad. Get a different angle on the street. You kind of see from here, if I can get out, I'll have the view up. This is my weaker guy. I definitely want to keep him towards the back. Mainly just sort of survive the mission is the more important thing. So my leader is quite tough. We'll put him somewhere up front. He's also pretty quick. So you can see off to the right there's sort of a kind of a gray, weirdly glowing pillar, so that's a scavenge kind of position, or it could be wordstone, but I can see a chest there, so it's scavenge. So some item there we'll probably want to grab and pick up. A weaker champion further back. This is a level 10 warrior. We can put him towards the front. Or actually, no, that was my level 8 warrior. This is my level 10 warrior. I'm trying to leave that position open for my other champion who's missing a leg because he's a little bit slow. So we'll put him over towards the front there. Yeah, that'll be good. So you can kind of see the order. There's a little bit of randomness. Part of your skills will determine who's going first or in what order. But then I think it also rolls a die on top of it to give you a result. Almost always I'm not going first. I'm tending to prioritize toughness and things over things like going faster. In the upper left-hand corner, you can see two bars. The blue bar is my leadership, and the red bar is my opponent's leadership. So it's just kind of a measure of all the leadership combined of all my different guys. And then there's a line with a number further down on it, and that's the number you have to drop the person to in order for them to start making leadership checks to see if they're going to flee the combat or not. As long as their leader's still around, they're typically going to hang in the fight quite a while. So I've gotten it down all the way to one person being left. So from here, I know there's some wordstone off here, but I don't know what level it's on. I would assume it's probably on the higher level. I may go up just to take a look. If you move and you don't spot anybody or anything, you can't actually go back. It sort of highlights the points. The blue on your icon under the name, and the health is sort of your movement, but also for things like reloading or using certain skills, and then the red is mostly for attacks or some attack skills. So if you wanted to move around and look at stuff, which sometimes you kind of need to because it's hard to tell how do I get certain places, I have no idea, so I could kind of take a look in here. Is the item here? I don't see it, so I could go up there and look around. If I don't see anything, I can then actually go back and backtrack and get those points back. But I think if you spotted somebody, then you don't actually get them back. Or if you do certain actions like climbing, at that point, that kind of is set. So I'm just going to take a look around, trying to find where that wordstone, it's way to my right somewhere. See, I was thinking I could get up over there, but I can't. So I'm just going to backtrack back, and we'll just climb up here instead. Climbing is a roll. The more armor you have, the harder it is to climb. Well, that's kind of a crummy position, isn't it? I can't go anywhere from here. Except up. So let's take a look. Height gives you an advantage for spotting stuff, and also for ranged accuracy. But there's so much stuff in the way that I'm not really going to see much from up here. I may hang out up here a little bit. So I can go down from there. Okay, that's how you get to that side. Sometimes you're not going to see people when you're in this mode, but then if you switch to the map, people might show up. So you may not actually see them when you're directly controlling the guy, but on the map their icons will show up. The red pillar there is kind of showing me where their cart is. So at least for this turn, I think we'll just hang out here, and the next turn maybe we'll move down. Although I'm not sure that's going to help me much. Kind of trying to guess where they might come from. I don't really know for sure exactly what they'll do. Sometimes they'll split up and do different things as well. The AI does seem, though, once it's spotted you, it'll tend to kind of swarm you. A few guys sometimes will be off doing other things. Oh, see, I can see somebody right there. Go ahead and check out what's in here. Unknown formula. So this is sort of your runes are actually, you get them from picking up formulas. I've only ever found blue formulas, though, so far. I've never actually found any of the purple ones, which would go on the purple weapons. So let's see if I can get in a position where I can actually get a shot. I think I have to get a bit closer. There we go. Just going to check the map and see if I see anybody else around. Okay, so we do have mercenaries. I don't really like being out in the open like this, but I have other people that can come up and help me out. So for this turn, I guess we'll go ahead and see what we can do. I do have a skill on them, so the first reload is going to be free. Second reload will cost 1. The next one is 2. So I could get another shot off, or I could try to move over a little bit. Oh, we missed the 90. What was that, 93? Something like that? Just going to kind of move over out of the way. We'll have to move some people up to kind of protect him. You can see the wordstone on the ground there next to the opponent. The really big chunk. And actually there's one right there above my archer too, off in the distance, is worth 15 wordstone. And then there's a smaller one that's worth 5. And then there's kind of one that looks like just little tiny rocks that's only worth 1. So those big clusters that are worth 15 wordstone each are really useful to pick up. I'd like to get somewhere up high if I can. It's hard to tell if I'm going to have any line of sight from here, though. There's line of sight. So I can actually kind of see through the windows. Oh, that's an archer back there. Sure, take the shot. A nice hit. And I'm just going to move here. Next turn I'll pop out and reload and take shots. Most likely, since they seem to be coming down that main road, and now they've seen me here, most likely they're all going to be kind of coming into this direction and heading towards me. Most likely. They might have some people off checking some stuff out here, or even out here. So we'll call that good for his turn. So it does kind of show you which way you're facing as well, which is really nice for the map. It doesn't just let you guess, which direction is which. I may move him up here as well. Put him in Overwatch, so he'll just take 1 shot if somebody comes into his range. My leader is actually really good in close combat, but I often just start him off with the pistols just to get a little bit of extra damage. Early on it really helped quite a bit to have that ability. Now it's not quite as much damage as I would like. Am I even coming out the right place? No, I'm not. Okay, let's go back. I need to get out to protect my archer who's out there, which is this way. The buildings and stuff can get very confusing. The pistols do have quite a short range, though, as you can see. And we'll take a shot. Actually surprised that hit. I've missed a lot of 70-some% with him. You can see down the alleyway there, that's one of the 5-piece warp stones down there. It's a shard. The bigger chunk there that's kind of at the foot of the enemy is the 15. So I would definitely like to get that. If an opponent picks ones up, you can take them out and then pick it off their body. You can also take weapons off them, but only the turn that you down them. Once the turn has gone by, they're sort of gone. I'm actually going to kind of move out to sort of make my leader the main optimal target. He gets attacked, he's fairly tough, and I can switch out to my shield and hammer and do a lot of damage with it. I think I can see with him where that ward stone is, I think. Could be crazy. Yeah, I thought I saw it in here. Tiny little bag. That's only one. I'm not even going to bother picking it up. You have kind of limited spots. It doesn't matter how heavy the item is, it's just a certain amount of spots that you have for picking up items. Used all my movement to kind of go check that out. Because I did an action, it didn't give me the movement points back. I'm kind of moving up, looking the other direction, so I have eyes. Leopold's one of my level 10 warriors, so he's pretty tough. He's good at parrying. He also has increased ambush range, so if anyone moves into this red, he would charge them. It's a little slow. The heavy armor does slow you down. There's a skill that can kind of mitigate that a little bit, which I picked up on my one-legged champion, which has helped a lot. Actually, he was really slow. You had a movement reduction for one-legged, and then an additional reduction for the heavy armor. You can block your other guy's movements, so you can't always move through people if they're in doorways and stuff, so I'm kind of off to the side here just a little bit. I want to get my champion out there as far as possible. So if he does go for my archer, he'll ambush them instead. That's kind of my plan. There are traps and things around, so like this particular gooey mass on the floor could be a trap. If you step on it, bad things could happen. There's some others that look like kind of skaven writing on boards that can be traps. The weird thing on the wall with the eye, some of those can be traps. So for right now, I'm just going to sort of move out here. I don't have a massive ambush range, but if anyone comes into that area, he'll charge him and do one attack.
A new round has started.
There's the ambush. That's a pretty good hit. It's a magic user. Magic is kind of random. There's a good chance bad things will happen to you when you cast magic, which is why I didn't actually have a magic user for a long time. I eventually picked one up sort of just because it did cost me over 1,000 gold to get a level 3 guy, but I thought I might as well try it out a little bit, and I have not been impressed so far, actually. So he's kind of a bit too far over. It's possible he might try to sneak people around. I can't get down there, I don't think. Yeah, this doesn't connect, unfortunately. The only way I can go down is here, down into the street. I'd like to have some height. Be nice. I'd like to be over on that particular piece of walkway there if I was going to watch this direction. So that was me failing a jump down roll, taking a little bit of damage. The heavy armored guys have a massive reduction to their chance of climbing or dropping successfully. So I do most of my sort of quick moving around and stuff with my young bloods. Just looking to see if there's a way to get up from here, but I don't see one because that doesn't connect. Very odd. So we'll just move up. This isn't a very good angle. At least there I can see a little bit out that way. He's got more guys moving in on me here. Free reload, we'll take that. I think we're going to move up. I have an increased chance to hit that way. So I can take regular shots, I can take aimed shots. I can use some of my blue for being in a dodge stance, which will give me one dodge attempt at an incoming attack. Got some other random items and things. Perception lets you spot things that might be hidden, including traps and things. So I'm just going to take a look at my different shot percentages. So if someone's in combat, it does reduce the percentage to hit them. So that's 63%. We've got 95 there, 81 back there. I think we'll keep hitting the guy we've already hit. As my rifleman shot him last turn. Do as much damage as we can. Some decent hits. Soften him up anyway. I'll go ahead and reload instead of going into dodge. Most likely I'll have guys covering their places where they can get access to me. I hope, anyway. Oh, there's his leader somewhere in the back. There he is. Might have to send my leader over to deal with his. Might end up being a giant parry off. So got a shot from here. Actually, I can shoot his leader. Or I can shoot the archer in the back. And we'll go for the leader, soften him up. Then I'll just end the turn. From here I can't see anything. From somewhere here I can see something. 81%. It's not terrible. Maybe I'll just take the 81% from here. There's a hit. You don't actually get any experience for just doing damage. You have to actually be the one who does the last bit of damage to take somebody down to get some experience. You get some flat experience for taking part in a mission. Got the points, so we'll just put him in dodge stance. Why not? So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and switch over my weapons. It's going to end up triggering his ambush here in a second, probably. Oh, there's something in the way. Leader battle. If you have the red skull points left, when it's not your turn, you can counterattack like that. So as long as he's got points, he can counterattack. My weapon actually has a chance to remove those unused points from somebody, though, when I hit them. I'm just going to trade straight up blows back and forth. Almost exact same damage, going back and forth. But I did soften him up, so that'll help a bit. And now, in this stance, I can parry up to 3 attacks, and then I get free counterattacks with him. That's kind of the leader's special ability. That's against melee attacks, anyway. Yeah, we'll kind of zoom in and show you sort of who can see what when your opponent is doing stuff. So right now I can see 3, 4, 5, 6 of his guys. I think he has 7, 8. I think there's 10. So most likely he has 1 or 2 guys sort of hanging out back by his cart, defending it, just in case I'm trying to flank around somewhere. Or they could be off collecting stuff somewhere. I might be able to get through the building here, I'm not sure. Yeah, there is a door there, okay. So where I'm at right now, he can't actually see me. So I may just kind of hang out right here. If anybody comes right towards this door, then I'll jump out and ambush him. Next turn I'll be able to get out and do some damage. Still don't see anybody off to this side at all. There is a good chunk of wordstone out here, though, I'd like to pick up. When you pick up wordstone, there's a chance something bad will happen. So that's for 2 turns, -5 leadership, intelligence, and alertness. So he's going to be slower, more likely to freak out in combat. Still kind of back here, not able to do much. Oh, again, this was my level 8 guy. I can't remember if I said it was my level 10 or not. This is my level 10, Leopold. I kind of get used to spotting guys by their weapons, but then when I swap out their weapons and change what they're using, it kind of messes me up. Leopold has an extended ambush range. So we'll leave him in ambush here. This guy's my level 6, I think. So let me see if we can help out in the fight here a little bit. He can't take a huge amount of damage. I'm trying to get at a certain point where you have a charge. You have to be a certain distance away to be able to charge somebody, though. But my own guy, if you kind of get close, you can kind of see the circle. My own guy's circle is sort of blocking my axis route. I can't be in that circle and be engaged with that other person. So there's a lot of positioning and stuff you have to kind of pay attention to. There we go. From there I can charge him. Guess so. All I could do with him, though. So the spell he cast on me reduces my armor absorption by 40%, which I think is pretty much all of it, but only for another turn. I'm going to see if I can just kill him here, hopefully. So now I want to move up in a position to loot. We'll check his body. Since he hasn't been a turn hasn't gone by, I can take anything he has. So if he had a magic hammer or something, I would be taking that. If you wait a turn, all you can really pick up would be sort of their item, which is used for certain side missions, and then any wordstone that they had. Again, I'm not even going to bother picking up the fragments because they're only one. Don't do me a lot of good. And we'll just engage this guy. So that was a crit. When you crit someone, there's also a roll to see if you stun them. And if you stun them, they just kind of sit there, and they're a lot easier to hit. They go down on their knees and become an easier target. Another magic user coming in.
A new round has started.
That was him hitting a trap. Oh, he's trying to head up to my archer. I don't like people going after my archers. I don't appreciate it. He's just back grabbing wordstone. So he might be a good target. He's actually coming towards me in combat. So I'm getting no counterattack because I didn't have any of the red points available. There's a parry, and I didn't go into a parry stance or anything. Have to do something about the guy engaging my archer. Maybe my other champion will deal with that. From here, I just have a crummy shot. I can make it better if I do aim shots instead. Still can only just see the one guy. Your own guys will sort of block your line of sight if you're trying to get shots off. There's a 90 on somebody. Ah, the unengaged magic user all the way over there. And we'll take some pot shots at him. Not a tremendous amount of damage, but quite a few arrows there. I'll just kind of move over here a little bit in the turn. So if you're engaged, if you have the points, you can get out of combat if there's space, but I'm kind of pushed up against the side here, so I can't get away because it's going to move you directly away from your opponent, and there's no room. So I can go ahead and switch to my other weapons. which I'm not very good at. At least get a little bit of damage in, though. Just parry, I'll get a free counter. And again. And again. So he's going to do quite a bit of damage on my opponent's turn. Because I spent quite a bit on leveling that stuff up. So I'll get a nice shot right there. That's actually my only shot, unless I want to move out. Sure, why not? I'm going to move out. Have pretty bad shots from there. Still bad shots. From here, nothing. Trying to see if I can get a shot on the magic user back there. It's so fiddly sometimes about exactly where you need to be to see stuff. Fine, I'll just move over. So 36, 46, just the two targets. I can aim, which increases it by 20%. Better chance here, but if I get lucky, maybe I can kill this guy. It's not super likely, but it's possible. Yeah, no way I can kill him. I only can get one more aimed shot off. So just whittle this guy down instead, or not. Yeah, it's quite hard to hit people in combat, but at least you won't hit your own guys. Okay, time for more beatings. So close to taking him out. Okay, so him, we want to go help out my archer. Archers are not great in combat. You can put some extra points and things in there if you want to. There's a crit. So that's a stun right there. So when you level guys up, you can put points into whatever you want, but there's certain maximums for different kind of classes. we'll just go with parry. I also have the multiple parry with him, but you need 4. You can see the web of steel there needs 4 movement points in order to get into that. I know some other magic user moved up on the left. I think I can sort of see him a little bit further back. If there's a question mark, it means you saw them at some point, so I know someone entered that building at some point, but I don't know where they moved after that. I'll just show you the last known position. So I do have another warrior there. I think I'll try to help out my weaker fighter here. Does automatically move the camera there for you. Trying to adjust it back so you can have a nice view of what's going on. And I don't have enough points to even go into a regular parry or anything. He's just going to have to take whatever shots come his way. There's another ranged weapon guy running around. Shooting my rifleman. I think the hand shot decreases your chance to hit. I may want to stay hidden here. My ambush range isn't very far though, so he might be able to sneak past me if I don't move out further. Just trying to limit his ability to move around behind me to gang up on my warriors, kind of like I'm ganging up on this guy. You see a lower level guy, just 80% chance to parry there. Check his body for anything, and nothing interesting. I think I'm going to head upstairs. And I could actually take out the leader. This guy will actually get some experience for it. If my leader does it, then I don't really get anything because my leader's already maxed out. And just talk myself into it. There's some good stuff. Plus 20% critical damage. Yeah, that's pretty good. That would actually be useful for this guy. Shield of Steel. Crit resistance. We'll take those. Of course, the enemy will mercilessly take any of your good stuff if he takes you down as well. Just going to hang out of view here for a second. There's my ambush triggering. Bad magic. Failure. Failure. So there's a chance magic will fail, but there's also a chance horrible stuff will happen if it does work. Yeah, there's nice. If you can counterattack and stun somebody,
a new round
turns over.
Started.
So since he's stunned, I think I can actually get away from him. There's just no room for me to move. I'm a lot better with the ranged weapons, so I'd rather do that. But looks like I can't get away from him. So we'll hit him in the head a few times. So what do we got? 71%. That's about it. A fine hit. Each time you reload in a turn, it's going to cost one more. That's why I'm not using the aim actions. I'm actually hitting all these. I'm really surprised. 71% miss a lot, it seems like, usually. It's the power of RNG. Yeah, we'll just hang out here. So that was if you're ganged up on, he had to make an all-alone check, which is a leadership test. If you fail it, you try to run away from the combat, and you get the people you were engaged with get to have free shots at you as you try to leave. Fence blocking my view. I spotted a warrior somewhere. I have to check the map and see where that is. Way back over here. Okay. So we've got shots on this guy. Don't want to do that. This guy's level 10, so I don't really want him taking people out if I can avoid it, just weakening them, preferably. Go for the magic user. He's on Overwatch there. He knows my guy's right inside the door. I'm going to go ahead and try to kill this guy off, just to get some extra experience. There we go. And I've got a firebomb if I wanted to, but probably not a good idea. It lights an area on fire. Got a couple spaces in my backpack for things, but nothing really I want to go for. There's some wordstone back there I could try to go grab, or I could help gang up on some people. Maybe the magic user back here. Suck up the Overwatch shot on the way, I guess. Don't mind getting this guy beaten up, I just don't want to actually do the killing blow with my leader. I've got a special attack here called Jaw Strike I'm going to use. It decreases the chance of successfully using magic. So I'm going to do that on him. Just don't want to kill him, that's the main thing. I want my other warrior to kill him. Here comes another guy. A mighty hit. That's not good. Otwin will have to go help. Yeah, see, I'm fighting Mercenary, so I feel fairly comfortable. Everything's going pretty well, nothing too bad. Fighting the undead would be totally different. Even if they're right around the same rank as me, it seems like they're just unstoppable killing machines, especially their leaders. I know this Youngblood has some Wardstone on him, so I definitely want to take him down if I can. May have to take some range shots at him. Alright, Elric, can you kill him? Maybe not. Yeah, probably not. Because he's pretty heavily armored, so I'm not doing that much damage. Just 3 points short of taking him out. I don't think I have... Yeah, I don't have Web of Steel with him, so all I can do is parry one attack. 95% chance. Keep focusing on the Youngblood here. This guy's getting beat up a bit. I may want to pull him out of the combat. Maybe next turn, if things don't go my way. He's only got 80% chance to parry and only one attack. So he's quite a bit weaker. Being ganged up on is not good for him. He passed his test. Oh, parry failed. Wow. And some kind of horrible spell. We'll have to see what that was, because I don't know what it was. I think these the Templar of Ulrich, which is something you have to buy if you want to use yourself. So that's why I don't have any. I haven't bought any of the DLC for the game. What kind of shots do I have? There's a decent shot. There's a decent shot, possibly. Go ahead and aim, try to take this guy down. Don't have enough points left to attack again, so we'll just have to call it good. Oh, there's a crit on me. That's not good. Alright, we'll use some aim shots here, I guess. Keep working on the guys that are already weak a little bit. He's almost at the point where he's going to have to start making leadership checks here pretty soon. But he's got to lose at least one more guy before that's going to happen. Take the easier shot. Spreading the damage around. See, from here I have a pretty good chance I could take out that guy, but I don't really want to do that. I want my guys who are actually going to get some experience from it to be the ones doing the damage, taking the enemies out of action. So I'm going to try to soften up the guy I'm fighting back there. Hit him. Good. Take somebody out with him, that would be nice too. Yeah, focus on that guy. If I can hit him again, I should be able to take him out. There we go. Nice. See what kind of loot he's got. We'll definitely take that. My leader's a little banged up, but I do have a healing potion on him, so if I wanted to, I could use it, but instead I'm just going to kind of hang him back instead. Don't want to use it if I don't have to. I'm going to scout here a little bit with him. I'm going to avoid these on the ground because I'm not sure if they're traps. Something in here. Could be up on the up of the story, though. It's so hard to tell where things are sometimes. I don't see anything there, so they're most likely in the upper story. One of them could be on this level. Nope. Figuring out where stuff is in this game is often really confusing and difficult. Yeah, they could even be up there. Keep scouting around with him. Oh, there's a failure. So took out just 6 of his guys, and then he ended up failing. So here you can see on the left side, there's sort of battleground victory stuff you get. So extra time after the mission, sort of grabbing some random things. And then below it is anything that you actually gathered during the mission, which for me was just 1 cluster, and that was it. On the right, how many people were taken out of action. Anyone taken out of action, you make rolls on for injuries and things. Most valuable warrior gets some extra XP, so actually was my champion there.
A warrior needs a bit of luck and a lot of skill to win a battle. But most of all, he needs strategy. You have managed to find the winning mixture. Now just be careful not to lose it.
Fairly good result. Got some experience. Nobody got hurt. I did get somebody critted, so they'll be out for a couple days. So don't always get points. You don't get points only when you level up. This is sort of your overall level, and then at steps between, you'll sometimes get random improvements to either physical, you'll get a point you can spend, or mental, or martial. So I got a martial point, which is good, even though I have weapon skill maxed out. Accuracy increases my crit chance, so I can just put it in that. Just 2 for the mission, didn't actually take anybody out, but he still got to level up. Physical point. Yeah, Erdman got critted, so he's just out for 2 days. Nothing really major or any problems. Just needs to recover a little bit. Gets a point. Anyone that's level 10 doesn't get anything, so that's why I think it started on Warrior 5 of 10, something like that. He just got 2 points, and that gives him nothing.
The gods are with you.
Oh, he leveled up to level 6. Good. So some skill points. Cool.
The gods are with you.
And he got up to level 4. So some extra things, gold crowns, poultice, clothing of evokers, some wordstone. There's the other stuff that I picked up. And then the formula is a formula of fury. So what I need to do now is pay for medical costs, which is the 4 gold here. You can actually go to the specific guy. You can see the Red Cross icon is for wounds. So it's 4, or you can just go ahead and pay all of them combined from this screen if you want to. Pay treatment, sure. Same thing you can do for the guys that you use in combat. You have to pay them. If you don't use them for a mission, you don't have to pay them anything. It's only if you actually use them for a mission you have to pay for them. Higher level they are, they cost more. I'll just pay for everybody. I'm not getting rid of anybody, not firing anybody. Everything went well. So I'm just going to look. I don't think I picked up... There are certain items that you'll get that you can't use. Certain factions can only use certain weapons, so I'm not sure if I actually picked up anything that I can't use. I was just going to check and see. This is all my stuff here. I know I got this for the mission. That's intelligence and agility. But each faction kind of has unique things. Skaven use like shurikens and weeping blades. The sisters use a lot of flails that no one else can use. I don't think there's anything that is junk that I can get rid of. Okay, so I'll go through and do my level ups. So I kind of do this. I'll check if there's anything that I want to swap out weapon-wise after each mission. You can see there's a kind of empty space here, so I can go to enchanting. So there's a spot for something, but I don't have anything that'll go in it. And if it's a purple, you can put purples on it. So I'm kind of waiting for purple runes to put in my purple weapons. So these ones that have runes in them are ones that I picked up off enemies, typically, that already had runes in them. So I have all these purple items that I'm kind of sitting on that I'm kind of waiting for the runes to put in them before I use them. Okay, you leveled up a little bit, so I just want to look at skills. A lot of skills have kind of a minimum requirement for things, so I want to give him hardy, but that requires at least 6 toughness. So yeah, if I upgrade his toughness by 1, I'll be able to give him this, which will give him some extra HP. So we'll do that. Agility would be the other thing I'd go for because it affects his dodge ability, which is his main defense. And then here, I'll go ahead and up his leadership, so he's less likely to run away from stuff. Not going to do skills now. We'll deal with that later. Actually, let's look at his stuff. Don't think there's anything I can swap out. I don't have any good helmet replacements. So here I've maxed out agility, so his dodge is 100% at this point. Strength just affects kind of damage in combat. Toughness will increase. Some extra HP would be nice. Just increase this, so critical hit chance, critical crit damage. Also attacks bypass some dodge chance percentage. Works for me. Now, didn't I get something that increases crit chance? I thought there was a mace. That's counterattack damage. Dodge bypass. There we go. So hit chance +8 and 20% extra crit damage, or 15% extra crit damage and 10% funeral bypass. Damage is pretty comparable. I think I'll go with the Mace of Carnage here. May change my mind, but for right now, that's what I'm thinking. Otwin still needs to increase his toughness and get some more health. I do have some purple weapons I could swap out. I kind of like the rune on this one, though. There's a chance when he gets hit that he'll gain an offense point, which is the red ones that let you attack. He also has a skill that if he counterattacks, there's a 40% chance he'll get one of those points back as well. So potentially he could counterattack each time he parries, or each time he gets hit, because there's that chance if he takes damage that he gets one, or if he counterattacks and hits that he gets another one, which will let him counterattack again. But the sword does less damage than other things that I have, so I'm not sure if I'm going to swap that out yet. I'll think about that. Don't have anything better really to do here. Which reminds me, I'm going to check my mage. Since I did get that clothing that increases intelligence. What do I already have? Intelligence and accuracy. Yeah, and this is intelligence and agility. This would actually be better because agility increases my dodge chance. So I'm going to swap that over. So up to 55% dodge. And here we'll boost agility, dodge up to 80%. Nothing really better I can give him, although I might have a rune now for that. Nope, no runes. If you had any, that would be at the top here. Just keep boosting toughness here. I tend to try to focus on making my guys tanks before anything else, which it might be better to go for damage. I mean, if you can kill the opponent before they can hit you, then you don't need to take as much damage, potentially. He's still using some blue stuff. Some of the lower level guys I have using blue stuff in case they do get taken out. If I lose, a blue axe or something, it's not as big of a deal because I do have quite a bit of purple weapons that I'm sort of holding on to, partially kind of waiting for better runes. But if my guys get tougher, I may swap them out. Rick didn't get anything. He does have a purple mace there. He's a bit higher level though. And my level 10 guy also has an axe I'm pretty happy with. Yeah, so I'll probably mess around with skills and stuff a bit. So kind of what you would do is if you want to train any skills, the skills take time. So the number here, he's got 3 more days left for training. You can only do 1 mission per day. This is sort of advancing the next day. So while he's training, I'm still running missions and doing things and collecting wordstone. I'll probably sell off some of the wordstone as well to get some more money. When you ship off wordstone, it takes a while for the wordstone to get to the people so that you actually get your money. There's a little bit of a delay there. And then there are hired swords you can pick up, who are guys that just start at a higher level. But you can see that even at level 5, when 10 is the max, over 1,000 gold, it's really expensive to be picking guys up. once you even level 2 or 3, depending on what they are, 600, 800 gold. Gold's really a problem in this game. You don't find a lot. Selling weapons doesn't give you very much. It's pretty much just wordstone that's going to be the main source of your gold. And skills do cost quite a bit. Some of the basic skills that maybe take a day to train are only 100 gold to start with. Once you're leveling those up even more, it could be 400, 500, 600 gold for a skill. It just kind of depends. And then they can take 5-6 days to train. So you're kind of out of commission for a while with that guy. So you have kind of reserves, extra guys. But I think that's probably going to be about it for today. It's getting close to my lunchtime. So if you appreciated and enjoyed the little mission, I'll put stuff up occasionally. I'll probably be doing another game tomorrow. I'm not sure if it'll be more Mordheim, might be something different. Trying to play stuff at least a few times a week and do streams, and then I upload stuff also to YouTube. So my older streams are all available on YouTube, which is also under Disturbing Puppet. But thank you very much for coming by and checking things out. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I will see you next time. Thanks.